The main essence of this indigence of the current situation in Abia State as with respect to the last governorship election. You will recall that the election for governorship and House of Assembly held on Saturday, the 18th of March 2023, across up to 28 states in the Federation. Abia State was one of them. As I had indicated before the election in my press engagements, I had said that I had credible intelligence that the state government under the PDP was planning to unleash mayhem and violence in Abia State. And I had warned the government under the leadership of Okezie Ikpeazu to at least consider the life and properties of people living in Abia and call off the violence and dismantle the plans to rig the 2023 election. All those fell on deaf ears. And true to expectation, on Saturday, 2 major local governments were used to attempt to rig the election. One of them is Isialangwa North, where the candidate of PDP comes from, and the other one was Obingwa, where the present governor comes from. On that day, mayhem was released, and every attempt was made to rig the election. People resisted them, and then at the end of the day, the Obingwa Collation Center, located at the local government headquarters, was under siege by armed men, thugs, miscreants, and all sorts of human beings. They made an attempt first to bring in doctored results to the collation center. They were resisted by our agents. So what they did was to descend heavily on the major agent of Labour Party and beat him to pulp. He passed out, and they took him out of the collation center and left him for dead. Dr. George Chidozie is his name, and he's a medical doctor. As we speak now, he's lying critically ill in a hospital in an undisclosed location in Abia State. So with that amount of violence unleashed, some of the people took cover and they took over the collation center. Along the line, they found that the INEC staff that worked there, particularly the returning officer or the collation officer and the EO and a few ICT staff of INEC, resisted them. So what they did was to hold them hostage for about 36 hours. While this was going on, the governor himself visited that collation center and left, meaning that it had his approval. At some point, the figures they were doctoring were changing because they weren't sure the number of votes with which we were leading. When they thought they had got the last figure, they wrote 86,000 for Obingwa and tried to push it in. The collation officer resisted them, and they said he was not going to live there until he signed. After staying there for a long time, he had to sign the document for his own safety. And then INEC security people moved them back to Umuahia. But before then, you know, like it's said, there is no perfect crime. They had released the House of Assembly results for the two constituencies for Obingwa and declared PDP candidates as winners. The total votes with which they were declared winners was just above 27,000. And the total accreditation was under 28,000. So if you make allowance for void votes and all that, you find that the accreditation was just about 28,000, or less than 28,000. So a few questions that Abia people are asking. If it is the same election, the accreditation held at the same time, and two ballot papers were given to those whose accreditation were successful, how would you justify 86,000 votes for the governorship and less than 28,000 votes for the two House of Assembly candidates that have been declared? When the confusion came to a head, the national headquarters of INEC intervened and asked that collation for Obingwa should not be done, and that INEC commissioners were going to visit Umuahia today to verify the numbers from Obingwa, or review the numbers. Subsequently, yesterday, another release from INEC now had INEC staff and all the people involved in the election invited to Abuja for today. So I believe that as we speak, the verification and review must be happening. Interestingly, the government of Abia State has been going around issuing releases and making all sorts of statements that are capable of breaching the peace. I would like to use this opportunity to call on Abia people to remain peaceful and calm. 16 local governments have been collated out of the 17. And the total votes that Labour Party scored out of the 16 local governments is about 172,000. I'll give you the specific number by the time we are done. And that of PDP is less than 80,000. So anyhow you flip and dice it, even the number they have written that doesn't have the support of the law cannot torpedo our victory. But that having been said, it is also important to underscore the point that we believe that INEC will do the right thing. All the other local governments that have been declared use the BVAS machine for accreditation. And it is our firm belief that INEC will not change the rules in the middle of the game. So we are calling on our people, the Labour Party, and Abia people to remain calm and wait on INEC to release the results, or to finish their review and release the results. The other important thing is that we're also thanking INEC. Like we have always said, we believe that the BVAS is a game changer, particularly if there is a will to use it. And what has happened this time around is that the BVAS has demystified Obingwa local government in Abia State. You will recall that in 2015, when I contested for the first time, PDP produced 82,000 votes from Obingwa to upturn the victory that Abia people gave us. This time around, they want to do the same thing. But the BVAS has proved that there are no more than 30,000 votes in Obingwa. And that was what we also proved in 2015 that led to a victory at the Court of Appeal. I also like to use this opportunity to thank all my competitors, those who contested with me, particularly the major ones that have sent letters congratulating me, and have also called on INEC to release the results forthwith so that Abia will be at peace. Of particular mention here is Professor Greg Ibe, OFR. He is the governorship candidate for ABGA in Abia State. I also got a letter this morning from Bishop Dr. Emeka Nwampa, the governorship candidate for Accord Party in Abia State. He has congratulated me and also called on INEC to conclude the review and release the results. And as I was just coming here, I got yet another letter from Chief Bond Uhuche, the gubernatorial candidate for AAC, also congratulating me and calling on INEC to conclude their review and release the results. So it's been all goodwill from everywhere. It is our firm belief that INEC will do the right thing and ensure that only results that are based on the BVAS as provided in Section 47 of the Electoral Act are accepted. And I believe that once that is done, we will be announced winners of that election. The figures that have been released by INEC, collation officers, are available, and I would like to share them to you gentlemen of the press by the time we are done with this exercise. I'm just also being reminded that another governorship candidate called Chief Chibuike Jonas has also sent a letter of congratulations and also called on INEC to conclude their review quickly and release the report. Gentlemen of the press, I'd like to thank you for responding to this call, and if you do have any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Relation between the late hours of Saturday and up to the early hours of Monday, I believe, the staff were not allowed to go, and the whole place was filled up with brigands and violent criminals. And I know it is at the behest of the government. And I believe that it's very responsible for a government, under whatever guise, to terrorize its citizens. And that is why I had called on the governor to desist. He lost the election about 3 or 4 weeks ago to go to the Senate. And from credible intelligence available to us, he wants to win the governorship by all means. But Abia people are cross-divide in different political parties want a change. We have been under bondage for the past 24 years, and this is the opportunity to rebuild the state. And that is why the groundswell of support coming from different places for me. I don't know if I've answered your question. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Want to come back to the street. This is where the action.